but still. Oh,
Yeah, they're
wow.
all upset right
Oh,
now.
Oh, we got
yeah.
some people in Atlanta. Big up some people in Atlanta
Okay, big
and the other
up.
Oh, Atlanta. Yeah,
in
man. Atlanta.
Australia.
Long time ain't been there, man. Atlanta's so much melanin in Atlanta, man.
Hey, they love that last episode, you know.
Atlanta?
No,
Oh,
the last episode.
the
I'm
last
saying the
that we done
gentleman.
last week.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
That's
yeah.
why we
Yeah,
had to bring us
yeah,
again,
yeah.
brother.
They loved it.
You
They
know,
loved it. They loved it. I've
speaking
had
of,
lots of good feedback about that. So
bless, man.
it's
Bless,
important that
brother.
they said they wanted to see especially Mr. Kevin.
Come on. Yell them sugar.
They love his breakdown. They love his
Come
breakdown. Yeah?
on,
The
Kevin.
universal
This is what I'm.
laws they were referring to, that he understand the language. You get me?
Come
That we can all
on.
learn from. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much respect for
Yeah,
that, Kevin, man.
I
Seriously.
mean, you know,
But before
I think
you
that's what
talk, Kevin, before you talk, because we're dealing with. Hold that point, Kevin. Sorry, my bad, brother. Arsenal and Liverpool were playing. Who watched the boxing last night, though?
No, I didn't.
Huh?
I didn't. It was
Man, it was my guy.
Aziz.
Dan Aziz, that's my guy. I used to mentor him in school. And yeah, brother, he made me very proud. He didn't win, you know, he came up short yesterday, but he done me proud, man. Him and Joshua Buatsi, very good Joshua is. I think you should go for and fight Anthony Yard, who's another Tunde who manages and trains Anthony Yard. He's a friend of mine as well. I love all what those brothers are doing, man. Buatsi, Anthony Yard, and Dan Aziz. I know Dan Aziz personally. I'm gonna get him on a live soon. But yes, salute to all them. Conor Ben done his thing yesterday as well.
Yeah, I heard that.
Done his thing. He done his thing. But I
What
think
was
he's
all
got a
that?
ways to go.
What was all that? What was all that? What was all that?
Yeah, Conor Ben. Yeah.
What is it? The
I mean, he's got speed.
Is it the drug thing? What is it?
No, it's not even that, really. It's not even that because, boy, a lot of them are on things, you know. But anyway, it's not for me to make that allegation without any proof or claim. It's not my business.
Yeah.
But Conor's a good boxer. I do like Conor, but I think this is just my opinion. The cockiness needs to calm down a bit. He needs to fight some top tier American welterweights, and when he does, then yeah, salute. But I don't. After the performance he done yesterday, yes, he can box, but you were in there with a dude that has been out of the ring for years, and you struggled. So I don't know. He's got more to go. You know, he's got more to go. But salute to him. Shout out to him.
I heard that. Big up Conor Ben.
Yeah. Shout out to him though. I wanted him to win though. I paid my little DAZN money, so shout out to him. Sorry, Kevin, Mr. Brother Kevin Bennett. Brother, come on. The man that speaks about natural law, universal principle. Law differs from legislation, and legislation is different from real law. A lot of people don't know that, Kevin. A lot of people don't know that. They still think, oh, if I drive 25 miles per hour in a 20 zone, it means I've broken the law. Not necessarily so. Why is that, Kevin?
Yeah, why is that? I didn't know that. I thought I did.
Do you know what? I think that when you're walking up a stairs, you start one stair at a time. I think that's like stair 3. We have to kind of start at stair 1. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, like for example, we have to understand what language means. Yeah, the importance of language. You know, at all
Listen up,
times
everyone.
we're speaking. At all times we're speaking 5 different languages, right? The average person speaks 5 different languages, and you have to know that you're speaking 5 different languages and not just one. This is the reason why most people get caught up either with police, with the government, when they're talking on the phone to a legal entity. You have to be aware of your 5 languages. In no particular order, one language is the Queen's English or your native tongue, right? So that's one language, okay? And so you can look in the Oxford Dictionary and you can see that you're reading the Queen's English, whatever that may look like, yeah, Oxford. The second language is slang, yeah? Slang is obviously built upon whatever the circle or the culture is, yeah?
Yes.
You know, right? So I don't need to explain what slang is, because slang is unique to different environments, right? The third language is legalese, yeah? That's the language of corporations, language of law, yeah? So you could be talking legalese and you're not aware of it. The next language is sign language, and you see that more in America in certain places when they're doing their gang signs, it's a language. Silence is a language. Quincy crossing his hand right, crossing his arms right now is a language. And so that
cover my belly.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
God. Man said he's holding in the belly, you know. Or
but
trying to
once
make
again, it's a language.
the biceps look
Now,
bigger, you know.
now, why is this important? The reason why it's important is if you think you're talking, when you're talking to a legal entity, if you're talking the Queen's English to a legal entity, you're signing yourself up for stuff you don't even know because they're talking back to you in legalese. Now, let me break it down and explain, right? Let me break it down and explain why it's important to understand this. Most of us growing up, when police is stopping us, police are talking to us in legalese. We're talking back to them either in slang or the Queen's English. And we don't know in that moment that we're signing contracts with them. Because what one word in the Queen's English slang or slang means is completely different to what the language means in legalese. This is the reason why when police are killing us, when the government are putting us into contracts we can't get out of, when some of our brothers are getting longer sentences than what is required, is because they are not understanding in that moment that they're signing certain contracts they can't get out of. So when the police is now, for example, an easy one so people to
That's
understand.
What I was gonna say, like example,
yeah.
Typical.
Okay, so let me give you an easy one. This is an easy one, okay? A very, very basic one. I'll give you about 3 different basic ones that normally contracts people and they don't know. Yeah, Courtney would know this when we talk about this. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at it. So understand in Queen's English means we are understanding each other in communication right now. Yeah. So I may say I'll meet you at 4 o'clock. Do you understand? And you say, yeah, I understand. I'll meet you at 4 o'clock. So from a Queen's English perspective or your native tongue, understand is a basic understanding between the two of us, right? Okay. In slang, understand could mean anything you want it to mean. Like, bro, you know what's gonna happen, right? You understand? But it could mean 10 different words based upon what your circle is saying. So it means something else. But in legalese, law, if you look at the law dictionary, and if you look at Black's law, if you look at all the different law dictionaries, legalese, understand means completely something different than what it means in the Queen's English. Understand in legalese means that you stand under my authority. So
Go ahead, bro.
Saying yes, they're just signing a contract. So that's why when police is saying, I'm arresting you for this and this and this, do you understand? That person in that moment of saying, yes, I understand, he's thinking that the policeman is talking to him when understanding, but what the policeman is saying, you're signing to a contract to me right now. Do you understand that I have all authority over you? So when that person says yes, whatever that policeman does to him right now is more likely going to beat the case. Why is he going to beat the case? Because the person signed a contract to him in that moment. So when they go to court, right? When they go to the court environment, all the legal people in the court knows you signed a contract. Now, here's another one to understand. For example, that the average person won't know what's going on. When you're talking, and it's so important to understand this. When you're talking to, all right, I'm going to give you 2 other examples, and I'm going to get to the main one. So another one, for example, is person. So I may say, you see that person right there? Once again, person we think means that particular person, right? We're pointing at the person. We're alluding to a person, right? So the word person in slang could mean anything you want it to slang. It could mean car for all you care, right? It's an understanding between you and your friends or the culture.
Yeah.
Person in the Queen's English will just mean the individual that you're talking about, right? But person in legal terms, means slave. It means a dead entity. It means slave. So sometimes when they're talking about, and these things are so important, it may seem trivial. It may seem like, why do I need to know this? Back in the days, when slavery was happening,
Yeah.
the one thing they didn't want people to learn was law books. So they made law books expensive. When you try to buy a law book today, a law book can cost you £1,000. A law book can cost you £200, £300. A law book
Yeah.
is not the price of an average book, because they don't want
Right.
the average person to buy these books and read and understand what's going on. It's very, very important. Do you understand what I'm saying?
The
Right?
game. Yeah.
So the reason I'm saying that is, we first need to understand what language we're speaking at all times. If we're
That's
talking
right.
now like the man them, we can talk like the man them. What go on, cuz we saying, bro? Seriously, blah blah blah, whatever, right? But then when we're in a school environment, we may want to go into the Queen's English. But as soon as we get into legal world, banks, organizations, governments, we have to be speaking legalese. It's so important. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. We must understand the fundamentals before we get anywhere else. The fundamentals is so important that I can't stress it enough how important it is. Yeah.
Well, I lost wisdom. That's right. Words are vibrations, and when you say certain things, you are spelling. That's right, Coco. Caribbean Creations 24. I don't know what the other individual was saying prior to what Coco. I'm not even looking at that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
what Kevin said there was so on point. As a question, words of is there a question?
No, I'll read it for you. I can read it. Look.
Oh, okay.
It says, "This is why I lost respect for Quincy after him saying R.I.P. and crying after the Queen's death, especially from where he's coming from. He should know better, because what he was saying was mental, respectfully." Okay, I can answer that. It's no problem, but I want Kevin to finish.
Yeah.
Go on.
So what it is, right? Which is, as I said, it's very, very, very important for us.
Very.
First and foremost, is that we need to have a good understanding of language before we get to all the other stages. It's very important we have a good understanding of language, and it's also very important that we understand. Yeah, it's very important that we have a good understand of our vibrational frequencies as well. You know, and the fact that every single word, what people don't know, that just like how we have relations, we've got cousins, we've got brothers, we've got aunties, we've got sisters, we've got fathers, mothers, all the rest of it. Words also have relationships. So when you use a certain word, that word is connected to a frequency. And so most people are casting spells on themselves every day and cursing themselves because their language is not right. So also there's other language as well. When you have negative language, you're cursing yourself. That's why I said spell comes from spelling. Do you know what I'm saying? The word spell comes from spelling. And so we need to understand.
Kevin, let me jump in with that. Sorry, brother. It's funny you said that spelling. Where do we learn to spell? We go to school to learn how to spell. And they teach us, good brother Kevin and Quincy, they teach us cursive writing. Not a coincidence we use the term cursive. Now, we need to tell our young people, no, you're learning blessed writings. You're going to cast blessed spells upon you. Write out blessed affirmations that you can read every morning, daughter, son. Yeah? That's what our responsibility as adults and parents are. Sorry, go ahead, Kevin. My bad.
I'll hand it over to Quincy. I'm talking too much.
You're not. But let me do what I'm doing. But anyway, yeah. So listen, yeah. So there was I made a thing that basically that I said when the Queen died. I remember where I was. I was coming out of my drive. It was a rainy day. It was pissing down, and I drove out and I got into my car, and then it came on the radio. The Queen died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And a tear came to my eye. Like, I'm honest. I don't need to pretend. Like, it might not be the flavor of the month thing to say, yeah. But I was honest in it, yeah. But
you're human, brother.
Yeah,
you're a man. You're a living soul.
What I'm saying is, yeah, that happened to me because you see, since I've been young, yeah, I grew up with just seeing that woman in it, part of what we do in it. Like, it's part of being in England or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's a feeling that I had in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I see people have, even from my community, getting excited about gangster songs and gangster artists and things that killing us. I see people getting excited about that. Do you get what I'm saying? When I was young, I was homeless, innit? Yeah. When I was homeless, right, the most like comforting moments I had is when I will go to the town hall to find to go to a children's home because I was obviously young and I was never had nowhere to live. So I go there. When I go there, I used to see the picture of the Queen. I used to sleep in front of it. I used to go to the children's home. There used to be a picture of the Queen in there. I used to, like to get what's it called, like bed sheets, clean sheets. You know, as a young kid, clean sheets, clean clothes, a nice plate of food. Those were the most satisfying moments I had. So maybe those feelings instilled in me from there. Even when I went to prison, prison didn't really affect me because I was on the street. So when I was going through the prison system, again, it wasn't a feeling of, oh, I'm here and there. It was a feeling of, oh, a break from the street. Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
And obviously, do you get what I'm saying? So I never had a negative feeling to her because whatever, I know obviously people went through other stuff, but I didn't actually go through life having a negative feeling about her. When she died, I'm a human being. It just went, oh, and a tear came to my eye. And I said it. That's it.
Do you know what? Let
nothing
me
to get
tell you what
excited about.
let me tell you something.
Carry on,
Let me tell you
brothers.
something.
Very good.
Yo.
Sorry.
Let me tell you something here. How you just explained that was so on point and amazing, and I respect how you explained that. And I'll tell you the reason why, right? Because what we have a thing called anchor, and we have a thing called trigger. Yeah, we've got anchor and we've got trigger. So anchor means that you're being anchored into a situation, right? So when you're going through your most vulnerable times, there's certain things that you saw, like the picture of the Queen. So that was when you was going through vulnerable times, when you was going through loneliness, when you was going through frustration, when you was going through anger, when you was probably going through depression, whatever it is, you choose the emotions, only you know it was. I'm just giving examples, right? So in those moments, when you was being helped, you just so happened to see a picture of a queen, right, of the Queen in those environments, and those environments at that time was actually helping you in those moments. So what happened when when the Queen died, and you heard the Queen died, it triggered those nostalgic moments. It triggered it, and when it triggered that moment, it then triggered an emotion, which then triggered a connection of the past, and also a connection as well of an end of an era of what you went through.
There you go.
What I'm saying, right?
That's beautiful, Kev. That is beautiful.
Right.
That is beautiful. Because you made me understand it more now. Do you know what I'm saying? What it was.
Yeah.
So I'm listening.
And that's what it was. And here's why I respect you. Continue to show your emotions, because when Tyrese was crying, he became a meme amongst Black World.
Come on.
And Black World destroyed Tyrese through it. I mean, when Michael Jordan cried, yeah, he was destroyed. And what happens is when us as Black men can't express ourselves, right? We then become more angry, we become more violent, because pressure bursts pipes. But when we do express ourselves, we become memes. And so our community has to make up their mind: do we express ourselves or do we not express ourselves?
Good question.
We turn around and when we have a tearful moment, we say, this is a tearful moment where I feel vulnerable, and the community comes around us and shields us from whatever we're going through. Or does the community now screen print a picture of Quincy crying and say, for example, look at this guy crying, and it becomes a meme every year? Because that's what they've done to Tyrese. So what's happening is we're learning as Black men more than anything not to express ourselves in public because we're penalized. So I'm saying, and pressure bursts pipes. So it's like, if you want us to be more loving in our relationships, allow us to express ourselves. If you want us to be more caring in our community, allow us to express ourselves. If you want us to not have mental illness the way that Black men are having mental illness, allow the pressure that is in there to release and express ourselves. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if we're not allowed to express ourselves, we will become more angry, we'll become more violent, we'll become more frustrated, and we won't communicate, because we equate all of those there to being embarrassed and being hurt and feeling lost. And so we must, very importantly, not feel restricted in the process of expressing ourselves. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Kevin, why are you? What does somebody put? Kevin, why are you still? Why are you still what?
China. That's the same person who asked the question.
Oh, okay.
She also said that the way I explain it now, she's sorry for what she said, and she understands why I made that video. So she's sorry. But then after that, now she has said, Kevin, why are you still? I don't know if she maybe she didn't get to finish writing. Yeah, maybe she didn't get to finish writing. That's it. No. Kevin, why are you still in the UK? Africa and Jamaica is where you need to be. Yeah, that's what she meant to say.
Kevin, why are you still in the UK, Africa and Jamaica, and both in the same places at the same time, like the Flash?
No. Yeah, sis, just to answer your question very quickly, I travel around a lot. So, you know, I've got to make sure that my mother and my father in the UK is looked after. And so they're my primary, you know, my child, my grandchild. I have to make sure they're looked after. But I do travel around. I've been Jamaica at least 13, 14 times, you know. I haven't explored a way that I should explore Africa. But I'm putting systems in place at the moment to help our people across the world, you know. So I'm daily making an effort to travel and help people. But no, I'm actually putting provisions in place as well to not be in the UK. But UK for now is because I've got to make sure that certain people are looked after and attended to as well.
How many times?
So there you have.
How many times you say been?
About 12, 13 times.
I've been once.
Yeah.
Twice, bro.
I used to go every year at
3 times. 3 times. I was in my daddy's system, and the second time when I was born. Yeah. He's a...
I went one. That was the first holiday I went. Do you know I didn't go anywhere until 2016. My whole life was my first holiday. That was my first holiday when I came out of prison. Yeah, and I went there first. I didn't travel until
how was it for you on your first journey to Jamaica?
It was nice. It was nice to experience. Like, I was with good people, and I was with good people. So they, you know, like where I was with people who had influence. So it was cool. But obviously, when I was just in the cab, I had a driver that was picking me up every day. So when he was picking me up, it'd been certain places where he was driving through. It was a bit uneasy at sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
what part of Jamaica you go?
I went to Portmore, innit? That's where I was staying. Yeah, I was staying in Portmore.
Yeah.
But obviously, he was bringing me around the whole of Jamaica. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes you could feel the edge.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question.
And you know where we're from, and I could still feel the edge.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I ask you guys a question? Yeah.
Go ahead.
What would both, and this is a question for both of you to answer. What would you like people to know about you that you think is misunderstood?
Wow. Loaded. That's loaded.
I said that's loaded. That is the right one. You know what? Yeah, I got to the stage where I didn't care anymore. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I'm taking time to think about it and undo all of the armor that I put on top. I've armored it so much I didn't even care anymore. So I'm trying to just lift it up.
I'm trying
to lift it up. I'm laughing at what Prince is saying and what I'm seeing.
I would like for them to know. Do you know what I'm saying? So let me think.
You know what? My mum's always brought me up to say, Courtney, that business what people think. You know?
This is what I got to the stage.
I don't give up.
No, let me just don't care. It's not that you don't care. I'm saying,
yeah,
what would you like people to know? So it's not about caring. It's just like, what would you like them to know?
That.
Can I ask you that question when I think about man?
Yeah.
You know what? What do you want people to know about
me? I think it's for me.
Yeah.
I would like. Let me tell you, I would like people to know that I care more than sometimes I show. And I'll tell you the reason why, in my case, right? This really plays on me, to be honest with you.
Wow.
I talk about this a lot to my close ones overall, right? So in my case, I would get like 30 messages in a day, and then I answer those 30 messages, and then they would reply back with 30 more messages. Then I get tired and I can't respond. Then to the next day, another set of people send me 30 messages, and then I try to, now I've got like on average 50, 60 messages to somehow work with. And after a while, I get so overwhelmed, I just don't respond.
Yeah.
And then what happens is a lot of people after a period of time just thinks like, you know, like Kevin thinks he's too nice, or he's too arrogant, or he hasn't got time for me. And there's so far from the case when you spend your days and your nights finding new ways to serve people. And so sometimes I just wanted to say to people, I'm really sorry, like, I'm going to let you down. I will let you down.
Okay.
And I think that's my terms and conditions now when I'm working with people. I'm going to say, there's one day where I'm going to let you down. And I want you to know that in that day, and when that day comes, and when that hour comes when I let you down, I don't mean it.
It's not intentional.
That's what it is for me. Because when you care about people, I love my people. I love people more than I even express. And it weighs upon you. You know, when you're doing a talk and you're doing a talk to people, and maybe the talk is about depression or the talk is about trauma, people don't know that you have an exchange of energy. So people normally walk away feeling energized and they're like, thank you. And you walk away with their energy and you feel a bit drained and you feel like, oh, do you know, I need to sleep for 2 days, or, do you know, I need to just release and breathe. And so after a period of time, it weighs on you. It weighs on you. And you don't get to express it. You don't get to get it out in time. The messages are still coming in. And so that's the one thing that that really plays on me, is that I would love the people that I'm taking every day out to serve to know that I'm there to serve them, but I'm not always going to please them.
Wow.
Powerful.
I don't know how to answer that question for myself. I think I give more than what I get back. Sometimes I feel I'm just a giver. I don't give to get back. I just give whatever I can give. Like when I went to Gambia, the money, because English money is long in Gambia, West Africa. And they use cash at every turn and corner. I was giving out hundreds. 100 is about £1 of our money. So where I see an auntie over there, or uncle, or someone, a young child who needs to buy food, you know, legit, they need to buy food. It's not Dragon Star or Guinness they're buying, or beer. I'm like, yeah, there it is. A bag of man I meet over there, they need some oil to cook on the street for food. Yeah, come, we got to shop. Vegetable oil, this, that, what you need. I love that. And I'm just a giver. I like to give, like yourself, Kevin, like yourself, Quincy. And I want people to I don't know if I care about people understanding what I do. I just do it. I just do it because I know God is sufficient. Most High God, Allah is sufficient for me. I don't really, that's what I mean by I don't care about what people think, because I'm going to do what I need to do. And
can I give a story, please, if you don't mind, Courtney? Sorry, just a few seconds. I apologize for cutting you, because I don't think that's polite.
No apology. No, don't apologize. This is your show, bro.
I tell you what it is, right? For me, yeah, I remember. I don't want to say. I'm not gonna say this girl's name. There's two girls in particular. One of them starts with M, and the other one starts with A. And I remember about 13 years ago, I used to like help this girl where I can. She was going through stress and she was going through depression and stuff. And she reached out to me, and I was really busy. And she's like, Kev, I really need to talk to you. I really need to talk to you. This was M. I really need to talk to you. And I was just busy that week. And then the next day, she died of a heart attack. She just died, like, and they said it was hypertension, etc. It was a high stress, and that really weighed on my soul. Whereas I always felt like, if anyone reaches out to me, they could be going through anything. I need to respond that to them. I think that's where that guilt, that feeling comes from. And then the second person named A, you guys may know her. I'll tell you offline. There was a second person. Her name was A. And the same thing again, this was about 8 years ago. And once again, she used to call me it was to be like every other evening, she'll call me and she'll tell me about like what's going on with her. She'll go through high depression. And that day she called me and I couldn't answer. I was really busy. And I was like, you know what, I'll give her a call back tomorrow, kind of thing. And once again, she was driving with her son. and she was trying to call me at the time when she was driving with her son. And once again, she got a heart attack and she crashed in the car with her son. She died, and the son was alive. And those things weigh on me. They weigh on me. So for me, when it comes to helping people, if I don't get back to people in time, it bothers my spirit, because people normally reach out to me because they're going through some form of trauma. And so, you know, sometimes it takes me 2 weeks to get back to someone, and 2 weeks can be too late. And so if it's one thing that really bothers my soul and my spirit, and it really irks me, is that I'm not there for people when they need me. And that's why I wrote the book, to be honest. One of the reasons why I wrote the book was to try and serve as much people as possible when I'm not around. And the app that I'm building at the moment, I'm building this app called the Lifeboard, and the app is a free app. I'm not even charging people. It's costing me thousands and thousands of pounds, and it's designed to help people when I'm not around, when I'm not there, you know, because you have your career and you have your vocation. Your vocation is like your calling. Your career is just your career path. And I started to feel, as I'm maturing in life, that I'm more on a path of vocation than career.
Wow.
And it really, yeah, it really breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart when I don't get back to people. It's really, I can't explain it properly, but yeah, that bothers me. That really bothers me. And
you know what? You're an empath, bro. You're an empath. I'm sure you've been told that already. You're an empath. You feel people. You don't. I don't know if anyone's. There's a movie. I forgot the name of the movie. People help me out with this one, but it's someone who can feel people's pain by touching, but just by being near them, you literally get the whole life story. And that we all need to control ourselves with that, because it can make us feel like we're going crazy.
And sick as well.
And yeah, and I'm saying, people listening to this, they say February is the biggest or highest levels of suicide. So that's why I'm glad I got you here, Kevin. I'm glad I got you here, Quincy, so we can encourage people listening. They say February is the biggest because...
What is it for you, Quincy?
Yeah, so basically, the misunderstanding I wanted to put out there was basically, when I first came out, I made a drama series, innit, for the community.
TV?
Like, yeah, called Real Life. Yeah, I put it on YouTube. Yeah, obviously, you know, you don't really get money from YouTube, innit? Like, it costs more than to pull it out than what you get back from it, innit? But we made like 4 series, is it? I even shot the second series in Jamaica when I went over there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but obviously when I done this, I built lots of friends in the community, innit? Yeah, and there wasn't actors. It's people that I turned into actors, innit? So there were people that are like us, who grew up in the community. So obviously you build relationships with these people. So obviously what the misconception of me was, like, when we started to go, I started to go to them parties, you know, like Jamaican parties, you know, yard dances they call them, yeah. And sometimes the people around me, they, you know, they get themselves in trouble, innit, yeah. But they seem to think, yeah, that these people, because, you know, like, I'm older, and then they're, well, not all of them, some of them are younger, they seem to think that I was making them make trouble. But it was actually the other way around, yeah. I was actually telling them not to do it. And what happened was, I kept on going out with them, and my party, my path in the party started to be a referee. Do you get what I'm saying? So I was going around, stopping him from fighting with him, stopping him fighting with him, stopping him fighting with him, stopping him fighting with him. Well, I just got tired of it, and I just stopped going to them kind of places. Do you get what I'm saying? So what happened was, now, if you speak to any of them, they even say it. They even come back and tell me. They said, "Yeah, my man always says, oh yeah, why are you with my man?" But you're thinking that you're with my man for trouble, not knowing that I'm big bro telling them, "Yo, brother, you need to stop doing that." And I've been doing that all the time for the last. Before I was doing it on the scene, but now I just do it from a distance because it was just getting too much for me, and I just felt like I'm gonna get myself in trouble. Do you get what I'm saying? Or I could get myself stabbed. You know, like being in the middle all the time, because
you know what? It's so
when you're in the middle all the time, anything can happen to you. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just quit the scene.
It's so funny that you say that, right? I've been stabbed 4 different times, yeah, and it's never been because of me. I've been stabbed in my back for who the guy is who I got stabbed in my back for. Yeah, I got stabbed in my back and I died on the operating table. He stabbed me just underneath my heart. He actually grazed my heart.
Yeah, that time you
died.
died.
Yeah, I died on the operating table, and that was one person I got stabbed for trying to break something up. There's another time I got stabbed in my leg trying to kick a knife out of someone's hand who was trying to stab someone else. I got stabbed in my arm in Jamaica for a guy that you know. Yeah, once again, a guy that you know. And I got cut in my face for a family member. And I always used to say to myself, and I say it now, if I died on any of those occasions, I'll have the highest stinging nettles in the cemetery because none of them will come to clean it up. And so, and do you know what it is? It's a culture thing as well, because culturally, you know, like where we come from, you don't leave no one behind. You know what I'm saying? You stand in front and you fight no matter what. You went like Spartans how we grew up. You get what I'm saying? And when you think about when people talk, if someone talks ill about you, if someone talks ill about me, or someone talks ill about Courtney, it's very cultured based. Because in the culture, we were grew up to be Spartans. We grew up to fight war and make sure no matter what happens. And I do love the fact that I still have that in me. I love the fact that I have it in me, but now it's more tamed. Now it's more controlled by me instead of controlled by culture. Because sometimes you know within yourself, I shouldn't be doing this, but culturally you do it anyway.
Yeah.
And so, do you get what I'm saying? Because you do it for the culture, you do it for the ends, you do it for the man them. But now you know to yourself, if I'm gonna, like you said something the other day, and Courtney said something along the lines of it as well. We're not fighting for no country. We're not fighting for no country. But if a war came to us, we'll fight for our community.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We got no choice. We're gonna fight. You know, we'll turn around and we'll say to our women, you see that house over there? All of you look stay in that house right here. Men, come with me, because we're built like that. We're built. As much as people see us now, we may wear a suit, or we may change the way how we articulate ourselves, or we may. There's certain things that we've adjusted because we've matured, but there's certain things within us that will never change. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's good that we have those fundamentals. So what you've got there, Quincy, is good. You've got the ability to start a fire, but because you've got the ability to start a fire, you also know very well how to out a fire. Do you understand?
But but you know what? I get exactly what you're saying. But what was happening? Yeah, you see where I was out there. I was actually taking. It's like I was becoming that persona was just coming my everyday thing. Because like I said, I went to Notting Hill Carnival after that, and then there was a little there's a youth from my estate. I think he's 21 Savage's little brother. Have you heard of him? So basically, he died, didn't it? He died a couple years ago. But a year before he died, imagine that, and a guy from the estate where we're all from killed him as well. Yeah, R.I.P. to him. Yeah, but the guy who killed him was a nice youth, you know. When I say he's a nice youth, he was humble. He was Muslim. He didn't trouble no one. It's just that they had a little altercation, and he just wasn't having it. Do you get what I'm saying?
The moment.
Yeah, at the moment. Like he's not on that, but it happened, didn't it? But,
and anyone can flip and
anyone can kill anybody.
Anyone.
You know what I'm saying? On the day. You didn't think he'd be the last person to kill someone. The guy that killed him. You know what I'm saying? But this guy was called T-Man, innit? Yeah. But I was at Notting Hill Carnival, and I was walking through the Notting Hill Carnival, and I saw like 5-6 youths with knives surrounding T-Man. Yeah. So obviously, because I'm already in this bloody persona, you know, going to these dances and stopping my friends from fighting. Soon as I saw him, I put myself in the middle. Yeah. But you see, when I put myself in the middle, he had his knife. He was taking his knife out of his tin, and I told him, "Yo, don't do that." I told the other youths, go back, and I just walked away with him, and that was it. But when I walked out of it, and I let him go, I thought, wow, do you know what? I could have got myself killed, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying, bro? And that was one of the things that made me say, yo, you can't be putting yourself out there like that. Like, I don't know if I was being selfish anymore, but I just thought, whoa. Remember, when you're in a dance, I'm mostly in control and can tell people to chill out because then people might know me. Do you get what I'm saying? They might know me. You know, the people I'm telling, yo, chill, he might know me. But when I'm in Carnival and I'm trying to tell a different age group to chill, Do you get what I'm saying? They might not know me, don't care about me, and just look at me like, hey, he's an old boy, stab him up. Do you get what I'm saying? So that was the one that made me sit back and think, whoa, what would I tell my kids and my mum? Like, oh yeah, I was. Do you get what I'm saying? I was happy that I got him out of that situation, because obviously I go back to my mum's estate, and that's where he's from, and you see them, and you know they hug you and X like that, and that feels good. But I just thought, wow, doing that too often, one day could go wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? So it kind of made me, you know what, I'm withdrawing myself a bit more and being a bit selective more.
Yes.
Where the places I go. There, I ain't gone Nottingham Carnival ever since.
Yeah, I don't go there.
Like, yeah.
Now it's funny you both said well, not funny, haha, but obviously it made me think of a year in Nottingham Hill Carnival. I can't remember, was it 2006, 2004? I was running a youth mentoring scheme in New Cross, actually, 2007, after I was awarded a few thousand to run this community centre scheme. Went on TV for it. National television was awarded by Lord Jeffrey Archer, Kanye King of Mobile Awards. You can go on my page and have a look at the actual video. But anyway, went on there, won the money, run this community centre thing in Barnes Wallace Community Centre, New Cross, not too far from Woodpecker Estate. Queens Road, which is between New Cross Ghetto and Peckham, North Peckham. So you got that kind of area. It's kind of hot, you know. And growing up, I've always been and known everyone from everywhere. There's not one ends I couldn't go to, apart from West London, where I end up in a little something when I was younger. But yeah, I won't go into shit. Yeah, it was to jump on the train, jump over barriers, get in a fight, get out the ends. Oh shoot, we're too far west. We need to get out of Bakerloo line back to Elephant Castle. But I remember mentoring this young man in 2007, around that time. Big up to him. I'm not going to expose his name. Kevin was speaking about we are mind, we are body, we are soul. You know, when you get that gut feeling, you get a gut feeling that says, don't go out, or don't do this, don't do that, or don't trust that somebody, blah, blah, blah. This young man I was mentoring, he said, yeah, I want to go carnival, I want to go carnival. I told him, you know what, don't go. I got a bad feeling. Don't go. Anyway, he said, nah, I'm gonna go. He went. What happened to him? Front of the Metro newspaper at that time, it was reported that there's an image of him walking through the crowd, that he just got shot in his shoulder. Stray bullet. So it wasn't meant for him. But any other bullet catch, yes sir, the vital, he would have been dead. He was 14 at the time. They put him on GMTV, interviewed him, brought another guy on to, yeah, you know, I want to mentor him. I didn't do it. I didn't go on there. But to this day, he's grown up now. He's got children. He's doing good for himself, and he keeps thanking me, saying, you know, I should have listened to you then. And you know, it's just mad love and respect between us. And I'm going to tell everybody here, the best thing you can do is, for me personally, you know, I remember being a young man going to Westwood dances at the Arches and, you know, Moonshot and all these different areas. And I'm telling you, the best thing we can do is go on your gut feeling when it comes to something, especially to the young people listening to this. Go on your gut. Don't let your ego follow you. Listen to your gut. Your gut will literally save your life. I've heard of so many stories of men who are told, yeah, like the last words, he said, boy, you know what, I don't feel like going out, but I'll go out tonight. Next minute, it's gone. Listen to your gut. Your gut will tell you when something's off, where you should keep your backside in your yard. There's a lot of crazy people out here today. There's a lot of crazy.
There's another rule to that, though. I don't know if you really remember that you told me, Kev, when we was young. Said if you ain't got nothing to do, stay in your house. That's what you said when we was young.
Yeah.
I remember that. Another rule.
Yeah.
You got nothing to do, stay in your house.
Yeah, no, seriously, boredom will make you feel with the devil.
Yeah. You told me that one as well. I remember these things.
Yeah.
You got
intuition.
You ain't got nothing to do, stay in your house, bro. You get me? Because obviously that's when trouble starts, isn't it? Because you end up in someone else's world.
Intuition. And then women have it strong. Women have it strong, intuition. They got it strong, you know, especially Valentine's Day when the man went to bring the flowers on the card. He's somewhere else, oh my God. I can feel it in the gut. Yeah, intuition. They call intuition means your inner teacher. That's what it's called, intuition. It's inside. That's your best friend. Listen to that, man. Go ahead.
I definitely do believe that we're in a time now you know, obviously we're in the age of Aquarius, so that obviously, you know, means information age. We've come from the time of Pisces, and we're in the information age now. But we're also in the age of genuine, true leadership, and I believe that it's important that now, I think as men, we've got to really start kind of looking at who we're protecting and who we're leading. It's only going to make sense when certain things start to occur. So, for example, like, you know, Quincy, in your case, you're like, okay, I've got my children, I've got my grandchildren, I've got my, who am I going to be? Do you know what I mean? Who's my gathering? You get what I'm saying? Because there's something that's happening at this precise time. I'm still figuring it out. But every 120 years, there's a changing of the guards. And so a lot of chaos happens when there's changing of the guards. And we're actually we're in the process right now of the changing of the guards.
Absolutely.
You know, so this is the reason why you're seeing so much war that's happening around the world on the level that it is for no reason. So, for example, you know, as we know, America's now declaring war on certain countries. Russia's not having it. Ukraine's not. All these things are happening, but it's not happening for the reasons that it's been told on the news. It's happening because there's a change of the guards. So what the change of the guard means is when one set of countries, so think about it, if you go back, you know, thousands of years, if you go back hundreds of years, it's still going to be the same kind of rotational story. So once upon a time, Persia was running the world. Yeah. Persia is modern day Iran. Iran's not running the world anymore. So another country came and take over. Once upon a time, Rome was running the world. Rome's not running the world anymore. Once upon a time, Athens was running the world. Athens is not running the world anymore. Once upon a time, the United Kingdom was running the world. United Kingdom time is now up. Once upon a time, America was running the world. America's time is up. So now it's China coming in now. Now it's Russia coming in now. Now it's the UAE coming in now. Now it's Africa coming in now. Once upon a time, Mansa Musa was running the world. Then his time was up. And so what happens in the mix of the changing of the guards, chaos happens because no one wants to give up power. And so when chaos happens, because no one wants to give up power, a lot of stray happens. So like, for example, bills going up, taxes going up. They're the strays of it, because every war needs bills and every war needs taxes. You go back to Robin Hood times, you'll see that anytime there's a war, the ships will go around and they will go and they'll collect the people's silver from them, and it's to melt it down and then use it for war. So there's a historical thing that's going on right now. And the reason why I'm saying that we have to now, and that's why it's good people like ourselves coming together and having certain conversations, because when you look into podcasts overall and you listen to conversations overall, they're so archaic, they're so trivial, they're so menial, they're distracting what is really what we should be preparing for. Do you know what I mean? There's some silly conversations. And so when we're talking, like I know me and Quincy talk, you know, you and I talk and we go back and forth, right? What we're doing is we're prepping ourselves for what is about to come. Do you get what I'm saying? And so what we need to do, what I think we need to do is we need to start really sitting down and saying strategically, and we are doing it behind the scenes, strategically, okay, this is our role to protect our community. And then we start to really look at who our community is. Not because our community is something that's geographical, because we all know there's bad mind people in our community. So we're not trying to protect people that's trying to destroy us. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I respect, because when Quincy's with his granddaughter, nothing can move him. He's important. There's nothing that can move him. Do you get what I'm saying?
He knows. You're looking granddad of the day, man. Look at the granddads today, brother. Come on, man.
You know, and so I'm not making quite sense to most people right now. It will make sense when that time triggers and happens.
And we're on the edge of it, right? The precipice of it today. We are literally on the precipice.
Actually, it's actually happening. But because think about it, it's happening in other parts of the world where now there's men that have to turn around us now and say, do you know what? I have to protect the community because the government ain't and the police ain't. But it's making its way around, and that's why if you really look at what the two families them's doing, when you see what Respect is doing, when you see what Brother Brothers them's doing, when you see what they're doing in a certain level, is because it's actually happening with the younger generation, but it's creeping itself up. You know what I'm saying? And so this is why, for me, you know, we have to, as the men, start really sitting down and putting systems in place to protect the vulnerable around us.
Yeah,
it's not making quite sense at this precise time, but it will. It will.
It's a
Now
must.
that you mentioned it, it definitely will.
Yeah, because think about it, like, okay, they're talking about in theory. In theory, they're talking about it. They're saying, for example, yeah, we're going to start looking at bringing people into the war. Yeah, so they're now talking about ideas of how can we now integrate the average young man into war, right? To go on war against Russia and other countries. Okay, now what does that mean? Who's the father that's going to say no? Who's the male in that environment that's going to say, you ain't taking our children? You get what I'm saying?
This is a good point.
Yeah. Who's that person that's going to say, no, you're not touching my child. You're not touching my wife's child. You're not touching my girlfriend's child. It may not be she may not be my biological child, but you're not touching my child.
Question.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Brother, to you, just for anyone in the audience, does that mean then we need to have our women need to be compliant more with what we say as leaders, as men, as protectors, providers? Some people's argument is, well, these women don't listen, you know. They don't want to listen. They're on this independent thing they want to do by themselves. And the next minute, we ain't doing what we do. They want to call us moist and all these things, innit? So what do we do about... That's why we spoke a few weeks ago on the traditional family. And the man, whether he's with the woman or the man co-parenting with the woman, you know, and the woman granting father access. So whether they are together, married or not, that traditional paradigm is still there. So what do we do regarding that for those who speak on podcasts about that? But are men always the leader? Yes. We're the natural leaders.
Sorry, so someone just said here, sorry, I'm a bit short-sighted, so it's hard for me to read certain things. Respectfully, you say that, but what are you elders doing for the young children, not youths, but age from 7 to 16, to stop them from going outside and indulging in bad activities? Q, you're a leader, you can help. All right. First and foremost, first and foremost, we're doing a lot for young children. Like, for example, in my case, on the 10th, I go and I do a talk to... I've been going around doing talks to schools for years. And I mentor and I help a lot of children, and I help a lot of children within families as well. But here's the thing, Courtney just said such a powerful point. Yeah? Courtney said such a powerful point. Courtney said the only true control we have is based upon the compliance of our partners. So here's the thing, right? If I'm with a girl and she's got a child and her child needs direction, but she doesn't believe that anyone should talk to her child, there's only so much we can do. And so in order for us to be a powerful environment and powerful society and powerful community, we need compliance. Now, I'm not saying hand over compliance to traumatized, deranged psychopaths. I'm saying having compliance for the men in that environment who are willing to take lead. But one thing that I notice about, and I'm telling you this as a man, ladies, one thing that us men don't do, men who are not psychopaths, one thing that we don't do, we don't fight on the street and then come home to fight again. It's tiring. We
oh my God, brother, talk that, man.
So we remove ourselves from environments when the environment is draining us. But we're willing to help. We're willing to put these things, and that's what we're doing consistently. I know Quincy's doing a lot out there. He's been helping a lot of people. Yeah, Quincy's been serving a lot of people.
Come on.
Yeah.
He put his life on the line.
Yeah.
He put his life on the line. What more do you want from a man? That's what we do. That's what men do. Sorry, Kevin, to cut you. The man put his... He might not be... He could have been 6 foot under. He put his life on the line for some, and I know he probably knows sister's, the brother's mum, for someone's son. That's what he's doing. What more can we do? There's men like Quincy and yourself all around the community. That's why I always prop up men and say, no, look, the majority of man them are not what less. And what you say, Kevin, perfectly, is what you attract. So if I'm complaining about women, oh, there's no good women out here, you know, I have to check my vibe and my energy, what I'm attracting, and I have to take accountability for what I'm attracting. That's what adults do. So if I don't like what I'm attracting and bringing into my universe, I need to change up something about me and take some form of accountability as a man. If I'm projecting with word spells, there's no good women, there's no then what am I going to get back? So women and men alike, yo, speak good of your people in your community first and foremost. Charity starts at home. Man like Quincy and Kevin, they put their life on the line, literally. Feds wouldn't do that. And they're paid in a public position to look after the public. Women don't like to be accountable.
I agree with
Unfortunately, that's true. Sisters, you're going to have to be accountable. And I'm going to say something, and I don't care about hurting feelings. I'm going to say, you can't raise that boy in your yard. You can't raise him. You can't raise him. You're not built to raise men. And I'm not being sexist. It's just the way, the law of nature. You can't. That after a certain time, my sisters and their sons, my nephews, I have to play dad if their dad's not around. And one of my nephews, he passed away last week. I have to be the dad, the father. I have to make sure I'm the father in example in terms of how I carry and conduct myself. I'm not afraid to pattern up none of these young people on the street if I see them and they're acting a certain kind of way. If they're wearing their trousers below their backside going to school, I say, yo, come here. Where you going? What are you advertising? You just come out, listen, pull up your trousers. And guess what? They might not like it. Quincy and Kevin know this, but they respect that. Oh, there's an unks looking out for me. I'm not going to just be there when they're getting stopped and searched. I'm watching them all the time. This is how we police our community. It takes a village, and it's traditionally always been the men that protect the women. That is just, I'm not saying women can't protect, but it's the man them, as Kevin's saying, as Quincy's saying, we're stepping up, and we just want the compliance and the support of brothers, but the sisters who are controlling the environment, the homes and all that.
Do you know what I think it is though? Obviously, I do know, like even if I look around me, there is like women that have raised boys. Do you know what I mean? Because they had no choice to, yeah. But I think when I talk to the boys, sometimes it's not that they can't tell them the right things or protect them with the knowledge and that. It's just that they always when I get taught to speak to a young boy, they always say, yeah, but she's always moaning. She's always moaning. And so it's the frequency.
Yeah.
It seems like she's moaning. It's just like if I say the word to you, it sounds different to when she's saying it, because you got to understand, if she's raising the kid, she's got 10 problems. Do you get what I'm saying? The man's problems and your problems. So her kind of mind state is a bit off balance. Yeah. So it might seem like she's moaning, but you know, she's trying to cook, she's trying to iron your clothes, she's talking to the teacher, and you're not. So that seems like it's moaning when it's not moaning. Because if you talk to the boy, you're gonna bring him to the side, and you're gonna have a different kind of, yo, listen, son. But I know when she's telling him, she's kind of caught up in all of the madness that she gets involved in because of she's by herself. So her frequency sounds different to the boy.
Yes, sir.
I mean, to the man. Do you get what I'm saying? In his ears. Do you get what I'm saying?
I definitely agree with
like
you. You're right, because a woman can't be feminine and masculine at the same time.
Yeah, so it sounds straining. It sounds straining what she's trying to tell you.
Yeah, because it's very, very hard for a woman to, from my perspective, to be feminine and have that feminine relationship with her child, but then she has to turn on the masculine role to discipline that same child. And so that's when the conflict happens, because, you know, if the man is going to be, for example, the disciplinarian in that sense, right? He's going to come in with his natural masculine energy. And listen, when we're talking about men right now, we're not talking about broken, weak men. Let's not talk about them. Let's not talk about the simps. We're talking about, you know, genuine men. Yeah. So let's not confuse the two when we're having that conversation. So just, you know, for clarity. And so when women should be able to be in a feminine role. The main thing when I'm talking and working with women, the one thing that I notice what women say over and over again, and they don't, a lot of times they don't realize that they're saying it. They're saying, I just want to be feminine. I just want to just be in my feminine state. I don't want to be masculine, because when a woman's masculine too long, she can lose her femininity. But when a woman has to really fight for herself and has to strive for herself, a lot of the times, she then goes into a masculine state. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Just put something in the
No, they said not with the yardie mother. They can play both roles.
Let me tell you something, right? You see, but here's the thing. Let me tell you something, right? You see, when it comes to, like, my mom's from Jamaica, yeah? And let me tell you what I've noticed. My mom can play both roles. She can play masculine and she can play feminine. But let me tell you, it does something to her. When a woman plays too much masculine roles, it does something to them. Don't think, and that's the thing. We don't notice it. We don't notice. But in order for a woman to come out of her femininity and go into a masculine zone and be in that masculine zone for a period of time, it does something to her. And most people don't notice it. They just put it for a while as, oh, she's just moaning, man, or she's always. But what it is, it weighs on her. Do you understand what I'm saying? But most people don't want to see the fact that when a woman has to turn on a masculine role, it really spiritually, physically, and psychologically affects her.
I had this kind of conversation other morning with my friend. Yeah, so basically, like, I left my phone. Usually, I turn my ringer off. You know, when I go to sleep, so you don't wake me up, because you know the sleep's important, isn't it? Yeah.
Come on.
I don't know when to wake me up. But for some reason, I fell asleep without turning the ringer off. So my friend phoned me in the morning, innit? And look, when I looked at it, it was my friend, yeah? And obviously, he's phoning me early. So I answered the phone. And when he phoned me, yeah, obviously we laughed about it after, innit? But he was like, I'm like, bro, this is, oh, I need to go toilet or something, man. This is, the other, I said, bro, I can't, man, let me phone you back. You know what I'm saying, man? Because, you know, like the first thing, it was like pouring hot oil in my eardrum. Do you get what I'm saying? So I let me phone you back, yeah? But then I phoned him back, and then we laughed about it after, innit, yeah? And made a joke about it, innit, yeah? I said, brother, you sound like he's gonna commit suicide the way he was going on. You get me, bro? Like, and it was only because the council didn't turn up. You get what I'm saying, yeah? I said to him, I said, bro, you see the other day, yeah? And this is when I noticed something about my mom. I said, the other day, my mom, I stayed at her house, didn't it? And she went out. She said, oh yeah, did the council come? And I said, no. She said, all right, no problem. I'm gonna phone them and make another appointment. I said, bro, that's how my mom dealt with that, yeah? But then I said, you know what, to tell you the truth, my mom had to turn herself into a rock, yeah, to survive around my stepdad, did it, yeah? So you see the small things that other women might go about, she don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, she had to build herself up to be so made of steel, like, them things is water for ducks back. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More than likely.
There's a lot of
that's how I'll tell. Yeah. So I was just saying to him, like, bro, you don't need, it's not that deep. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just make another phone call, yeah? Just phone them and think about it. Like, the way he sounded, I thought someone died, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Did you know what? Let me tell you
the council,
right?
bro.
Let me tell you, I heard something. I heard something once, and it was so powerful. They the saying goes like this. Forgive me if I get it wrong, because I haven't said it out loud in a very, very long time. It says, easy times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times then create weak men. Yeah? And let me tell you why. So anytime men are weak, because times are easy.
And what is a weak man? What's a weak man?
A weak man, first and foremost, a weak man is someone who is psychologically weak. They cannot handle things under pressure. Yeah. weak man is someone who doesn't know how to govern their environment. Yeah. A weak man is someone who,
and is governed by its environment, but they can't govern their environment.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so that creates weakness, because if there's no leadership in the environment, then the environment shall suffer to the strongest. Look at when it comes to lions. The weakest lion gets run out of the pride,
gets killed.
And then the new lion comes in and kills the kids and kills the cubs. And so you see,
I love watching wildlife
environments, and that's the reason why ideally other men shouldn't be bringing up another man's child, because if it was in the lion world, that cub will get killed.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
And what?
So this is So this is the reason why it's important, and we've debated about this over and over again. If it's one thing that I could teach women, is to filter men properly. That's the one thing. If I could sit down women and teach women all the signs to look out for, how to filter out certain men, then they would have the strongest men and the right men for their environment, for their men to not only get into a proper relationship, but also be a good leader to their children as well. I think that men will always be opportunists in getting with a woman, so a woman's filtering system has to be better than a man's.
Yes, sir. I think so, because women have got a lot more to lose, in my opinion.
Now, I noticed as well, like they say, like the things that happen in the animal kingdom, they're pattern in the humans' lives or something, or there's similarities or something.
Yes, sir.
So when you're saying about the lions, they physically kill. Do you think you still get killed, but in a different way? The kids, like, I don't know, maybe spiritual or something. There's something.
100%. 100%.
It's just about physically killing them.
That's very deep, bro.
You know what? Such a powerful statement. That is a powerful statement.
Listen in, everyone.
Shoot. Right, let me tell you the reason why. Yeah, and when I say to you, Quincy, that's such a powerful statement. I'm gonna actually go away and sit on that a bit more. But I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Here's the thing, right? Let's take away emotions. Let's take away what we see. So, okay, let's say, for example, you like that girl, and whatever you like about that girl, you're a bum man, you're a breast man, you're a looks man, you're a hair man, you're a skin, whatever it is your thing is, right? You've qualified her, right? You've qualified her, whatever your thing is, okay? But who is she 45 years from now? Because whatever you saw 45 years prior, she's not that 45 years later. So the only
she's gonna look like Camilla.
So the only thing that you can look at 45 years later is legacy. What is the legacy of that person? So when a child so it made me laugh. So when a child, for example, is brought up into an environment, right? The number one thing that you should be thinking about is legacy. What do I want my child's legacy to be? You get what I'm saying? But here's the thing: if you're not in control of bringing up your child's legacy, someone else is. So that means your legacy is ruined.
Done it done, Dessa. Come on.
Yeah. Your legacy is ruined. And so when we're looking at children, when we're looking at family, when we're looking at our partner, right? When we're looking at our partner, we have to look at her and say, does she represent me 150 years from now? And when that woman's looking at a man, she should be saying, can this man be the owner of my legacy for the next 200 years? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Fact. We're not thinking long term. And you know what that's called, Kev? That's called positive eugenics. That's when you understand mating on another level, mating. And brother spoke about the lion and used that as an example to equate it to human behavior. What we have never been taught, especially in our Black African Caribbean community, is about the science of mating and relationships. It's a science down to the point where the elite don't just get with anyone and have children. They select their partners, or their partners are selected because they know that if you blend this gene pool with that gene pool, or that family with this one, you will produce these type of children. and I'm sorry to use the example, and I know brothers used it already in the best way, better than I could, is the example of animals with horses. When you want to breed a thoroughbred racehorse, you get a certain type of stallion horse to mix with another type of stallion horse to breed a thoroughbred racehorse. It's down to genetics. We have to get, I know sister earlier just said, oh, it's not down to looks, but men are attracted to women for different reasons why women are attracted to men. Men are visually attracted to women. We're visually. You are attracted to men emotionally, how he makes you feel. Can he make you feel secure and safe? But anyway, positive eugenics means we must select our partners wisely, not based upon what we can see, but based upon characteristics. I want to know what kind of book she's reading, if she's reading at all. I want to know what kind of music she's listening to. If she's listening to Sexy Red or Soca Hannah, or she's listening to classical music, or Jill Scott, Erica Badu. It will tell me what kind of woman she is, what kind of programs she's watching. Is she watching ratchetness, or is she watching things that feed her mind, like documentary? I'm not saying she's always going to be watching things that feed her intellect, but I want to know what she's feeding them, because you are what you eat. I don't want no dumb woman. I don't care how good she looks. I need a woman to enhance me and what I've got already and to add on to me. That's positive eugenics, because she becomes my wife or the mother of my children, and she ain't dumb. Then I know my children that will come from her womb will be looked after and educated, not just academically, but in general. Life knowledge, you know, and that's what it is. We need to look beyond just how much money he's got and how pretty she is. Yes, those are the initial things. However, we need to get into positive eugenics. It's a real word. It's a real thing that is practiced amongst the elites. Do you think William, what's his name again? Prince William and Kate Middleton we just fell in love? You don't go so. It was they selected those two to breed together. Sorry to use that word. Charles and the late Princess Diana, it was a breeding selection. It's not emotional, as Kevin and Quincy are saying. It's not emotional. It's science on a higher level. And it didn't teach the poor working class whites or blacks, because anyhow the people at the bottom, so-called bottom, learned about positive eugenics, our communities would change overnight. We wouldn't just be women wouldn't just be breeding for any random man, and man wouldn't be planting his seed in any random woman.
So Kev, what that guy said, yeah, Cheryl, I wanted to ask you about that. Why I know it's a thing. They can't tell me it's not a thing. Why do girls like bad boys? What is that about?
Because you know what? Girls normally like bad boys because for them it provides security. Yeah. When you look back into the lion world once again, and you also look at peacocks as well, the peacock that has the best feathers, flutters the best feathers, is normally the peacock that's most attractive. So in every environment, the one that seems to have control of the environment is the most attractive to whoever that female wants to mate with. So you see it with birds, and you see it with lions, and you see it with bears, and you see it right across the mammal world. You will see whatever one that seems to come across as the most dominant one tends to control the environment. And so they even done those studies as well on dating apps. So the guy that's a certain height, women psychologically see guys with a certain height as leaders. Yeah, we know it's not true, but that's the psychological control of how people look at it. Guys that are naturally bigger. And so when you start to look at that, then guys that express themselves in a dominant kind of way normally comes across as the one that can control their environment.
The alpha.
Yeah, the alpha. I'll try to dodge the word the alpha and you know yeah, right. And so what it is in our environment, it becomes toxic because what happens is a lot of women only saw role models as bad men growing up. So they started to equate it to a father figure, but also a figure that can protect them and control them from any harm or loss. Not realizing, is it?
Yeah, look, I feel like bad men have daddy issues and want some form of security.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
Yes, and that's what it is. And
that's coming from a woman saying, a sister saying it, by the way, respectfully.
Yeah, and So what happens is this: where it goes wrong for women is they don't understand the science of frequency. So the bad man ends up being the abuser because the bad man is vibrating in a negative vibrational frequency. So where she goes to him for protection, she ends up running from him looking for protection.
Oh, to Sim, we have these chat show. How often are these chat show, guys? Very interesting stuff on the table. Sister, please follow the good brother Quincy. He has a podcast that he's running. Please also follow the good brother Kevin Bennett. He has a book out right now on Amazon called, forgive me if I get it wrong, Kevin, Who Helps the Helpline When the Helpline Needs Help. I'm going to do the voiceover campaign for that good book. And you can follow yours truly here, Courtney_Winston_ on this Instagram. We will be doing podcasts where we are in the flesh with clothes on, obviously, in the flesh, podcasting. Yeah, you have to, I don't like using the word persons, like in the living flesh, we, the Free Kings, Yassa, are going to be speaking, podcasting, question and answer. And in the very near future, there's venues at our office in Canary Wharf where we will be having networking events. Okay, so just follow up. We got some courses coming out where we will webinars, free webinars actually, and we want everyone to learn about their lawful rights. The law is on your side. This is good for your children, especially young boys, young men. They got to know about their lawful legal rights. This is what gives them strength and confidence up here. Mental martial arts. Learn about the matrix system. Learn why Sherry Blair, Tony Blair's ex-former wife, calls her chambers the matrix. And they made a whole movie about the matrix. There's a lot of messages about identity in the Matrix movie. And we're running the courses on that and free webinars. So just stay plotted in, Famabam. And every Sunday we try and be here as well.
Famabam? What's Famabam?
Famabam. That's what Americans say. My cousins will say, yeah, what's up with the fam bam? Yeah, I'm good. Fam bam? I'm like, okay, fam bam. Like, what's up with the fam bam, fam? I might be going to New York in a few days as well. So
did you speak about that thing that you said you wanted to speak about, that child getting overpowered by the police? Did you speak about it? Remember that video you said? I put a video up the other day, and the guy with the little kid with the mental health was getting overpowered by the police.
Oh God, that was painful to watch. I can't.
So guys, I've got to jump in a few minutes because I've got to actually leave out. So I'm going to finish up in a few minutes. Yeah.
All right, but we before you go, I want to quickly just say this. We'll just get real quick. There's a video that on Quincy's page where a young man who had ADHD or autism or something like that, and the white police officer in America was cuffed. The parents were there saying, "It's okay, son. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you'll be all right. You'll be all right." They're letting another man, a policeman, suspect anti-black police officer, handcuff the disabled special needs young man, a black boy. And it's the way the police officers roughing up the youth. Like, no, why are you there? Get out. That's your business to take care of. As a man, the mother was there, but as a man, you must restrain and hold your son. Get the training. Hug them, hold them. Because you can hold and hug and put them in what teachers will call mapper, which you can do restraints, which is safe for you and the child. So I can't watch those videos where I see police brutality on our people, especially young women and children. I can't see it. I can't watch it. I don't repost those things. Personally, I can't do it. We need to.
But you know, we're back to that place again. I can't speak for their personal situation. I don't know what's going on with them. With that said, this is the reason why you need to have strong men in your environment. And when I say strong, I don't mean physically strong alone. I'm talking about having a man in your environment that has the skills and the ability to problem solve at all times.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So even if it's to deal with your child and the child may have some form of mental illness or some form of disorder, you need to have a man in your environment. And that's what I'm trying to say. When women are filtering out men, they have to look at men from all different perspectives.
Come on.
I think that women nowadays are looking at men from one or two angles. And what's happening is, in the process of looking at those men from those low hanging fruit angles and perspectives and quality control and thresholds, they're letting through the wrong men into their worlds.
Come on, man.
Saying. Yeah. So when a man has certain, women need to really sit down and work out
Ask men how to vet men. Ask a man.
Yeah, what is the truth?
Man,
filter processes for what they want for a man, because that man shouldn't be bringing a policeman to deal with a 10-year-old or whatever. How old is that child? Was he about 10?
Around 11, 12, that area.
Exactly.
He's young.
So I know what's going on.
So a man in that environment,
he was
shouldn't
filming
be.
The dad was filming it.
Yeah, yes.
Brother.
It's a joke. And why is that filming as well? To post it online. It just. But that's
why do we do that? Why do we do that? Why do we do that for clout? Like men, women, whoever. Why are you filming your children dancing, little girls in women's clothes?
What Kev said before about the podcast is this, everything is this error. They all just, everyone's just, I don't know, they're chasing something that it's not even real anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
And
the little girl, bro.
No, Quincy, you just said such a powerful point. I didn't even look at it from that perspective. Yeah, such a powerful point. You have a father, father standing over his son being dominated by a policeman, that he called on the son. And the son is 30-year-old. And then on top of that, he's filming it. And then in his mind, he says, now let me post it. It doesn't
make sense. Listen.
We live in.
It reminds me of slavery. It reminds me of slavery, bro. Watching Roots or something. Don't worry, man. It ain't gonna hurt you now. No, don't you worry. Don't you do that now. No, don't worry, man. It ain't gonna kill you. It reminds me of watching Roots. Like if I was around, and for real, if I was around, I would have been dead because I'm one of those rebellious slaves fighting. I'm killing my lineage. Yeah, my ancestral lineage. We fought off the slave masters thing. We fought back. We didn't just no. We fought. Yeah, not everybody went willy-nilly. A lot of us fought. When I watch those, as a man, your manhood, as slavery stripped black men's manhood totally, entirely. And it's like some of the legacy of slavery still in us. Some of us, be it self-hatred, be it not protecting our women and our children, or thinking someone is superior to you because they have a different skin color. We need to be. I told a woman, a sister, a friend of mine.
Sorry,
she's got
a jump off, right?
All right.
I've got to jump off. I apologize.
Cool. Real quick. Yeah. All right, Kevin, thank you very much. I'm going to close up on this and then we'll close up for the night anyway. Yeah. But thank you, Kevin.
Love.
Bless you, man. Thank you. We'll catch up.
That was just 10 minutes under 2 hours since I came in. So you lot done 2 hours 20 anyway. So you
always do that. Long marathon thing.
It went quick.
But I'm going to...
We'll be back here next Monday, right? Sorry,
Sunday, 9 p.m.
Yeah. I must have bank holiday Monday and talking to Kevin. What? Sunday. Yeah. 9 p.m. GMT.
Thank you.
Peace out. I'm going to close up anyway with people.
Thank you for coming as well.
Yeah. Thank you. But just want to quickly close out. I'm going to close out and say we got to sit our children down and watch Roots. Yeah, it's painful, but they got to know the journey of the ancestors. That's what I was saying. We got to understand how things, what we went through.
I don't even want to start that conversation because it might go somewhere. But
I know.
Just like that's something that kind of holds you back, kind of in your mind, like.
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week though. We'll get into it. And ladies, learn about vetting. Learn about vetting. We're gonna tell you how you can vet the right man then.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. We'll talk.
Sometimes we live in a new world now, innit? So when we live in a new world now, it kind of can stop you from having certain relationships, put it matter frankly, with white people because it can be damaging. We don't live in that world no more. So it could like put different kind of feelings in you and start blocking certain paths you could go down, bro. So I don't know if you need to something like that. That was made to kind of hold us back. That program, like we need to learn about ourselves. Remember, who made that? Who made that film? Who made it?
Well, it was a book first, inspired by a man called Alex Haley. Alex Haley was an author who lived in the era of the civil rights, and he interviewed Malcolm X. Yeah, I learned this in school. And through his interview with Malcolm X told Alex Haley that your ancestors were Muslims. And he was like, really? Okay. Yeah, your name wasn't Alex Haley. Your name was probably something else, an African name. Yeah. And so Alex Haley went on a journey of research in West Africa, Gambia, and found his family, Kunte Kente. Okay. And from that wrote a book called Roots. And then that book then transcribed into a movie in the 70s and then was remade again. Malachi Kirby was the actor who played Kunta Kinte.
Who made the
and I visited.
film though? Who made the film? Because you know a film and a book's two different things. Because you know the art of filmmaking can really make your brain receive it in a different way. So who made the film?
I can't remember who was the director. It was a TV series. Hollywood Studios backed it. A man called LeVar Barton was in it. Cecily Tyson. Sisters like and oh god, how could I Angela Mayalou? How can I forget the sister's name? And sister, man, beautiful, brilliant woman. Maya Angelou, when the Cage Birds Sing, poet, and many other greats. Amos was in there, and also I want to say shout out and rise in and rest in paradise and power, Carl Weathers, man, aka Apollo Creed, passed away on Friday.
He did. But you see when you were saying some of these great people and some of these great actors, they was in that film. But sometimes you see when they're in that film, they're at the beginning of their career, innit? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They've gone on to become great actors, you know, from there, or that's how you've known them now, is to be great actors. Sometimes, you know, when we were watching them, we didn't even know who they was. Some of them were starting their career. So if they're starting their career, sometimes they don't know what they're putting themselves in or getting themselves involved in. Do you get what I'm saying? Because sometimes people are desperate for a role.
No, 100%. I'm in that field myself, the acting role myself, the acting world.
So I'm thinking who, but more importantly, who put that film together?
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
The mindset of that person. That's where we can understand what that film was, what it was meant to be for. If you know what I'm saying.
I agree with you in terms of it can be traumatic to watch these things. But you see, like Schindler's List, Steven Spielberg, who
that's
made
the
Schindler's
Jewish one, right? Is that
the Jewish one about those who went into Auschwitz concentration camps. And you have many of the Jewish community who write and show films about what's happened to their ancestors in Germany, World War II at the time, 1939. And many of the filmmakers in Hollywood have Jewish lineage from Poland, Russia, Germany. And their families were expelled from Russia under the Tsar of Russia, which was those who didn't like Jews. And they immigrated from Europe to America and created Hollywood and tell many stories like the MGM, Warner Brothers, those top studios, the three main studios, Universal Pictures, were created and started by Jewish men from Europe. And they tell that you always hear about stories about what happened to the Jews. And you know what? It's important. I hear you regarding the trauma, but it's important that communities know what their ancestors went through, not to bring it in the present day that we hate white people, because black people, I've not seen a group of black people equivalent to the KKK going out killing white people because of their skin color. With all the stuff in South Africa and all that. So I don't think black people haven't got it in their heart to go and kill people for their color. However, when you do watch Roots, you do get angry, you do get mad. I remember like my family members in the 70s, when they were going to school watching Roots, they went to school the next day and they were fighting because it was a shock. A lot of them didn't know about.
I don't think we need that kind of energy right now.
But
we've already got enough issues already.
Yeah, we need to get rid of self-hatred, but still teach the history from a point of, when I say reparations, I'm talking about how do we heal intergenerational trauma? How do we heal the nightmarish conditions that our ancestors went through that are still suffering from the legacy of it through Windrush and through today racism today and so forth and so on. So we need to approach it from a remedial point of view, not from a point of view of I hate you for what your ancestors did to my ancestors. Now, what do we do today to correct the institutional racism that we still see in the system today? You know, first, obviously, with us as black folk, and then collectively as a human family.
Okay, but you see what? So I know you like you just said, oh, because of them things that happened in the past.
Yeah.
What if we?
And some still going on today.
We're not going through them things now, like you said. Yeah, we're not seeing a bunch of KK. We're not seeing like proper slavery how it was and blah blah blah. No,
not like that, but in a high tech level.
No, not like that. Not like that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, so obviously, them people who are doing that are up there.
Yeah.
We're down here.
Yeah.
Why can't we just cut off everything that they're trying to send to us, and work with each other and try and move forward together instead of making certain little doctrinations come down and affect this new batch of people that was not affected by that. What's that not better?
Because you know why, bro? The same thing that happened in the past, the legacy still lives. The remnants of that is still poisons some of our institutions to this day, where we today, the people, want to come together and we're more of a melting pot than we ever was. Some of the remnants, see what has happened in the past. If you don't correct some of the things that has taken place, it will come again. There's an old saying, I can't remember what it was. That's it, Bob Marley. I went to a Bob Marley exhibition in Brixton, actually, at Windrush exhibitions. And one of the things Bob Marley said, he who does not learn from the past is deemed to repeat it again in the future. So, for example, with slavery now, I'm a believer that slavery is still going on, but in a modern day context, in terms of what we see, systematic slavery, slavery in terms of you have to do certain things that are against your will, which is not necessarily the law, but man has made the rules. There's a form of modern day slavery that we need to learn to break from in terms of the chains with knowledge. For example, you know what Kevin was saying about legalese? This is a cheap book that you can get that will inform you about, I know it's back to front, that will inform you about legal terms that are used every single day. I.e., when Kevin was breaking down the word understand, remember Rastaman used to say, when I understand, me overstand. Overstand. They were trying to teach. I didn't understand what they meant when Rastaman back in Kensington, back in the day, Brixton was saying, boy, never say understand, say overstand. Big up Bonga Kanye is on the live right now. Meaning we don't stand under the jurisdiction of legislative law, which is not actual law. We overstand. We're not going to be under any jurisdiction that will be to our detriment. And if we don't learn the proper legalese today, then white, black, tall, short, male, female will be in bondage in modern day slavery today. Because it's language they used in slavery, and it's language that's being used today by the likes of Sadiq Khan saying that we must pay per mile. We the people, black and white, north, south, east, west, London, Birmingham, Manchester, if we don't come together and we don't break down these barriers, as you're saying, brother, to come as one people to destroy tyranny as a collective, that's why they got us fighting each other. If we don't come together on the principle of truth, even though we may have differences and we come from a different tribes and all that, we need to come together for a common denominator, a common purpose that, hey, this is going to affect your life and my life, my children's life, your children's life, your granddad, wow, your grandchildren's. And we want to change that course, that trajectory path that government wants to put our children in by what? Knowledging up, in coming together as you are doing your great, wonderful work, bruv, that you're doing in the community. We pull our resources together, me, you, Kevin, Tubada, Bongo Kani, and so many others, brothers and sisters out in the community who look like us, and those that don't even look like us, but they have a commonality with us. We need to pull together because media's busy trying to, yeah, you're different, you're that, you're that, yeah, fight, war. Okay, we know what difference is. How about the things that we unite on? How about the things that we can agree on? Yeah, you're a Muslim, he's a Christian, he's a Catholic. Hold on, you all believe in God. So why don't you come together on that proviso? Yeah, he's a man, that's a woman. They both want what they want. Okay, what's the commonality that'll bring you together? Not just for one day and Valentine's Day, but other days. You need to come together for the rest of the 365 days of the year. Not just one day of romance and spend your money on your brock. You just recovered from Christmas. Now you're going to spend more money for February the 14th. And I think one of the great things we could do, brother, here in assisting is, I think a lot of women, as Kevin was saying, need to learn about vetting. And one of the things I'd love to do with yourself, my good brother, and Kevin, is have a time on Sunday where we can give tips, where ladies can come in and ask questions, where we can give it to them straight in terms of, this is what you need to do to know, say, if you have a good man in your life or not. Because ladies, you need us. You need it from the male perspective. Because a lot of ladies don't know, man. They don't know. And that's because of the brainwashing in society.
Also, you said about vetting. Yeah, obviously vetting. But also what men's got to do is just kind of be better, innit? Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. Absolutely. We have to improve. Got to improve.
So the vetting don't actually fail. Do you know what I mean? Like, we just
there you
got to
go.
do better.
That's right. We've got to
You get what I'm saying?
do better by ourselves and each other, man. And as I love the saying, my good brother Quincy, do unto others as you've like to be done unto yourself. Bottom line for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to treat our next man the way I want to be treated. Simple. Principle. And that's it. You know? So if we can go on that principle, trust me, a lot of our problems will dissipate. Yeah. What I don't have, you got. What I got, you may not have, and we share and give and exchange. That's the true money. That's the true wealth. The people are the true wealth, not physical money alone, but the people, them, you, me, and others. But yeah, Quince, thank you very much. I'm gonna hold our food now, brother. You know what, brother?
I hope everyone can like kind of promote the live on Sunday 9 p.m. If everyone could just let me know where. You know, I'll put a post up on my thing. Like everyone in the chat just kind of share it on their story.
Come on.
Just let know we'll be here every Sunday 9 p.m. So
yes, sir. Every Sunday, my good brother. Thank you, brother. And I appreciate your time, man.
Everyone for joining.
Lovely, brother.
Yeah, love.
Thank you.
No problem,
peace.
Bro. Love.
Take care, everyone. See you next week, Sunday, everyone. That's Quincy.
No
That's
later,
Kevin
Big
Bennett.
up Kev as well.
Big up.
Yeah.
Kev, big up Two Bad, I remember. Two Bad has got his thing next week, Saturday at Woodpecker State. 10th of February, get down there. Let's see each other live and in living color.
Big up Bongo.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Big up.
Yeah, man. And big up Bongo Canny, my good brother and friend. Bless up.
See you later, Mauro. Okay, bye-bye.
Peace, everyone.
Bye.